Quick question. Why does every politician sound like an unhinged cartoon villain in March and then a reasonable adult by November? That's not growth, that's choreography. We're told that the primaries are democracy in its purest form, that this is where the real debate happens, and that where voters choose the best candidate with the best ideas. But here's the sacred cow that nobody likes tipping. Primary elections are not about persuading voters. They're about impressing party members. And that difference explains almost everything broken in politics, because once you understand that, the entire political circus suddenly starts to make sense. Texas primaries aren't a warm-up or practice round for the general election. They're not public debates. They're private auditions, an internal private party selection process. It's not who has the best ideas, it's who can prove that they belong here. Candidates aren't running against their ideological opponents. That happens in November. No, the candidates are actually auditioning for the same audience. Republicans vote for Republicans. Democrats vote for Democrats. Everyone else is politely told, pick a team or sit this one out. So when you vote in a primary, you're not just picking a candidate. You're signing the guest book into a private party's ideological tent, whether you meant to or not. That's why campaign ads sound like, I'm the only real Republican, or I'm the most authentic Democrat on the ballot. They're not arguing policy, they're performing loyalty. But here's the part that most voters miss. In a primary election, the safest move isn't moderation. It's outflanking your opponent. So candidates swing hard, not towards the center, but toward the loudest, angriest, most engaged voter base. When you see a Republican attacking another Republican or a Democrat trashing another Democrat, that's not extremism by accident. It's strategy. In a primary election, moderation isn't rewarded. Nuance isn't rewarded. Reaching across the aisle isn't rewarded. So what is rewarded? Being louder, being purer, being more extreme than the person standing next to you. This isn't a debate, it's an ideological purity test. And if you think I'm wrong, which a lot of people do, I invite you to watch over the next couple of months because, like magic, not too long after the Texas primary elections here in March, the successful candidate will suddenly discover nuance. They evolve, they clarify. That's not growth, that's ideological whiplash. This is why politics feels insane or broken, even when the voters aren't. The system incentivizes ideological stretching, a pendulum swing toward the edges during the primary season, rewarding loyalty over logic, outrage over problem solving, slogans over solutions, followed by a frantic scramble back toward the center after the primary election is over. That's not hypocrisy, it's survival mode inside a flawed incentive structure. As a Libertarian running in Texas District 55, my party nominates by convention. No loyalty pledges, no purity theater. Yes, I still have to run against NOTA, none of the above, but that's just the party's veto option. I wish the major parties trusted their voters that much. But it also means that I can do something very radical during the primary season that those other candidates can't do. Talk to everyone. I don't have to talk past half of the district just to impress the loudest sliver of it. I get to talk to all of the voters. All of them. Not just the Democrats, not just Republicans, not just Libertarians. All voters, all year, without changing costumes between seasons. So if you've ever wondered why politics feels so theatrical, ask, why does every election feel fake? Or why do politicians campaign like extremists but govern like cowards? Now you know. You weren't watching a debate, you were watching an audition. Here's the uncomfortable question. If primaries reward loyalty over problem solving, why are we so shocked that the general election in November feels so hollow? If we want less extreme politics, we can't pretend primaries are public conversations when they're really just party echo chambers. So let me ask you, should candidates be rewarding for pleasing their party's gatekeepers or by voters as a whole? Drop your take in the comments and share this one with someone who keeps asking, why is everything so extreme?